My name is Joseph Sheerin from Kiltyclogher in County Leitrim. I'm part of the KiltyLive Project. It was set up in 2017 to bring children here to keep our school open. The National School is named after the 1916 proclamation signatory Sean McDermott, and we felt that it was vital that a school like that was built in his honour, the village where he came from would be kept open and that the community would be kept alive. When I came here as a guard in 1994, myself and my wife and 2 children, there would have been around about 40 in the school, but in 2016 it would have gone down to about 15, and if it had reached, if it had gone below that number, the school would have been closed. It was a 2-teacher school, so we couldn't afford to let it go below that number. We came together to entice people to come here to the village. We wanted to give the name that was going to revitalise and feel that, yes, this is a good place to come to, and not just people would have an impression that villages similar to ours are situated along the border or in County Leitrim would be places that would be dying out. And we knew that that wasn't the case, but we understood that the numbers in the school was going down. There was a need for people to come here. So we chose the name KiltyLive to give that feeling of vitality. In the village, we had 100% support from everybody that around here and in the surrounding countryside. We didn't know how to go about it to start with, because we knew that we didn't have the amount of young families here that could sustain a school of even the numbers of 15. So we had to get people from outside. Our plan was that we would print about 1,000 leaflets and distribute them throughout the country, and I mean from Dublin to Cork, everywhere as we were going along, because we had a deadline of the end of September that we had to have the school up to that number. But we're very lucky. At the time, we made a slideshow and put music to it, traditional Irish music. The slideshow was the entire landscape of the surrounding area, the village, the different things we had to offer, and to set to the music of local Irish musicians. And we all of a sudden found that we got a hit of 10,000 viewers just to the slideshow itself. But what really set the campaign alight was the media attention that we got to the campaign. It may have been because things are quiet in August, but our local radio station, Ocean FM, and they featured what we were doing, and from that RTE took it up. Ray Darcy's programme brought some of the people here, and that made a huge, just that programme alone automatically had a huge response. What we found then, we set out a plan originally to be upfront and straight with people, that they were we wanted them to see what the advantages were of coming here, but also we were aware that every place has things that mightn't be suitable for people, or that misconceptions. That so we were upfront and straight about everything. I know transport was going to be a problem, so we had to make sure people knew that. If we were going to get somebody to come to North Leitrim and they were from Dublin, and to make a real decision that would have dramatic effect on their lives, they couldn't just come here and decide that in 2 or 3 hours and then drive home. So we own, as a community, we own the Holiday Centre and we own the Heritage Centre here, and we're also responsible for bringing tourists to Sean McDermott's house. We drew everything from the people locally. The Facebook was developed by the local people. The leaflets, we can thank Carl McGowan. She made the brochures, designed them, and every part of the promotion came from local people. And no money. We didn't have to generate money for it, other than what would have to go into, what we would have to invest to produce the leaflets. We didn't look for funding. At the time, we didn't even go looking for government support. We took this on as a community, and we weren't trying to, we made no distinction between community or race or anything else. People, individual families had to make a decision if they would like to come to a community like ours. We were open to them. So what we did was that the campaign had it that if people wanted to come down here, we allowed them to stay one night in the Holiday Centre. That would give them a chance to see the social environment and the community, the village itself. And then because it was the summertime, Kathleen McCaffrey, who was the secretary in the school, and Geraldine, who was the principal teacher, they came in off their free time to show people around the school. We had included photographs of the school in the slideshow, so that made it that people actually could see exactly what they were coming to. People were, they gave completely of their time. In 2017, the Heritage Centre here wasn't up and running correctly. We used this building as the base, nearly you could say the headquarters for the campaign, and it was central to the village, and we could meet people here. We could show them around the village. They had the play school for the children. An awful lot of the families came here, and it wouldn't have felt free to let their children out on their own. We were able to just take them over to the playground, and they were free to go and enjoy themselves. Our last family came only in the last month or so, and that was 6 children coming into the school in one day with one family. At this stage I can't actually say how many, but I know it's over 25. What we did then, as part of it was vital for us to get accommodation. So we needed families from outside, and we also needed accommodation. So we went around the village, picked out any house that wasn't being lived in, and went to the owners to find out would they lease them to people coming. We were very lucky at the time that we had, at least we were guaranteed 3 houses. So that would have got us that 15 children. So it was to expand on that. And we were able to do that over the months afterwards. Yes, we've been invited. I went down to Castle Island in Kerry myself to speak to people. We've gone to different villages and towns and communities in Leitrim and in numerous other places throughout Ireland to let them know. As I said, KiltyLive is a scheme that can be successful for every community. And we know in Ireland now at the moment, there are an awful lot of places that are in need of revitalisation. And the important thing is for the community to be informed of what is going on around them, that when they're aware, and also for the community to be open to people coming. And I don't know of any community who aren't supportive of that once they're up to date with what's going on. We were aware that people might feel that there weren't jobs in a place like this, that we were secluded. But we drew up a map of the village and the surrounding area as far as Dublin. And it showed that if you were in Bray and going to Dublin Airport, you could be stuck in an hour and a half's traffic. If you were at Dublin Airport and you came to Kiltyclogher, you could get here in 2 hours. So if you were going from here and you were working in Bundorn, Ballyshannon, you were there in half an hour. Manorhamilton, we were there in less than 15 minutes, and Sligo in 35. So people can say, are there jobs locally? What is local in Ireland today? And that's how we sold the village to people. There's no reason why you have to look and say, is there jobs in the actual place itself? We were very lucky. We had very good internet access. We also were on the border. Therefore, the mobile coverage here in Kiltyclogher was very good from 3. The mast was just outside the village. Because it's on the border, we had a northern network, so you could have had a business, we'll say, through England or the north, and run it from an English number here in the village. And people wouldn't have thought of something like that. So we listed everything, and we had way more things. Well, it gives you the chance. You can choose. You can shop. We encourage people to shop locally. When we're doing our tidy towns every year, we support local. So things, if for the film, the drama festival during the year, we buy local in our local shop in McGriskin's. So it is vital for any community to support their small shops locally. And then, yes, you go outside for other items, but it is important to support the local things. And the cost of living is a lot cheaper. I know that, just take one small example like that. If you are looking for something on a hardware line, I guarantee you'll get that down McGriskin's, where you could go into Sligo, which is an hour, 35 minutes away, and you don't know what shop in Sligo to get it at, but we'll give it to you, and you only have it 100 yards. First of all, you'll succeed at anything once you're determined. Two is don't put yourself down as a community. Don't feel that you're below anybody else. Look around you and pick your assets. Our assets was Sean McDermott and how important he was nationally to the country, and then our location because of its scenery. And they were the things we promoted from the beginning. The potential for developing tourism in North Leitrim hasn't been tapped into at all, and we can be the hub of that tourist base if money is invested in the area. When it came to promoting the KiltyLive Project, we put young people in front of the camera on every occasion, because it was pointless them seeing people, for instance, my age. And yes, I have children who've gone through Kilty, and I would never, they thrive to it. But you want the next generation to come on. And then the families who are going to be coming into the village needed to see that there were actually children and young people here that were going to be met by them. So we had young families meet them, as well as be the promoters of the project. Well, we start off in the beginning of March, where we have a week of the Amateur Drama Festival. Then it continues on different stages through the summer months, where at least once a month there's something that is important going on here. We've the Stony Woods Festival then, which comes out the beginning of July. We've got the Sean McDermott Summer School. We've the drama or set dancing competitions. So and then now we've opened a local film club, and therefore that gives a community get together. And we've a very active heritage centre, as you can see here, and then our community council works to support what's going on in the area. It avails of any grants that can be got, and we're a very proactive community. There'll be 12 on the community council, and they're made up from all ages, and everybody in the community has a right and a say to what goes on and brought up, and we try and convey those to the people in authority to encourage investment here. There is, yeah, and I think most places in Ireland have that. No community is 100%, and we'd be foolish to think that it was. And it's vital that we're realistic about things. But on the whole, we are a very good working community.